This video will demonstrate how to effectively find open access resources via the University of Hull. We'll concentrate on effective search techniques to locate quality open access journal articles. Open access, or OA for short, refers to free and unrestricted access to literature. In other words, making research available online with no cost to the reader. OA resources are an excellent source of academic content that's available online with no access restrictions. The University of Hull has a budget which pays for access to a wide range of resources, so if you're a student here you would have access to all of these. However, our library website enables you to search for OA materials, which means even if you aren't a student here, you can still access a wide range of materials. You can also try using Google and Google Scholar to access additional sources. So let's head over to the library website and I'll show you how you can search for these. From the University of Hull library website, you can see at the top of the page is our main library search. Students can use this to search for a range of materials, from books and e-books to journal articles and newspapers. We're going to be focusing this video on accessing open access peer-reviewed journal articles. Peer-reviewed journals are of a higher quality than other magazines and journals. Articles that are published in a peer-reviewed journal means they are subject to additional scrutiny, so experts will review the work before it gets published. Journal articles are essentially collections of research written by experts in that field. If you want current up-to-date research, then journal articles are the best source of information. Although you can search for peer-reviewed literature on Google Scholar, the downside is you tend to get very large numbers of results, and the search interface isn't that effective. You can't also access everything you find on there. Our library search offers a more sophisticated searching tool and makes it easier for you to see those open access resources. So let's try searching. The most important part of searching is to initially identify your keywords. The library search will look for every word you type in, so it's really important to initially identify your key terms. If you were, say, researching the impact of social media on the sleep patterns of teenagers, your key terms would be social media, sleep, and teenagers. We don't necessarily need some of those connecting words, and we don't necessarily need words like impact. So let's try that to start with. We can start by typing these keywords in. The library search will automatically place an "and" in between each keyword you type in. So it'll look for articles that have the word social and media and sleep and teenagers. Let's run that search, and now we can look at how we can limit our search further. So as you can see, we have a very large number of results displaying. A couple of techniques to help narrow the search initially. We can look for an exact phrase. We want the word social to be searched next to the word media. So if we simply enclose that in double quotation marks, those words now must be searched together in that exact order. Let's run that and see what happens to our results. As you can see, this is more or less to halve the results. This is where we can start adding extra filters. We only want to see open access materials, and we want those really good quality journal articles. So let's use the filters down the left hand side. We can start by selecting journal article. We can also then select peer review. So these are those really good quality articles. And as you can see, we still have nearly 4,500 results. We can now tick open access, available to non-Hull. As you can see, we still have a really good number of results, but all of these are now from peer review quality journals. There's extra filters we can also apply. For example, we're looking at social media, so we want some really current research. Let's limit it to 5 years. We can also limit it by discipline, subject headings. We can also limit it by language. So by using the built-in filters, we can very quickly get down to something a little bit more manageable. So we now have a really good number of results. These are relevance ranked, so the most useful ones will hopefully be near the top of the page. Let's look at the first one, for example. We can click More Info, and that will give us an abstract or a summary of the article, so we can decide if it's worth pursuing further. If we think this article looks useful, we can click on the link to open access. This is now showing us the full text of the article. It's always worth trying to look for the PDF version. That's a much more readable format and is easier to download and read. As you can see now, I have a download option. This is the journal article appearing on the page. Just a quick tip, if we're looking for content within an article to verify how useful it might be, if we press Ctrl and F on the keyboard, we get a little search box. We can now put in a keyword and it will tell us every time that word appears in that particular article. If we type in Facebook, for example, and search, you can see there's 9 matches. And we can go through the document to see where those keywords appear within the article. Depending what you're researching, you may need to widen your search further if you're getting limited results. There are additional search techniques that you can apply to increase your search results. Let's head over to the advanced search and we can go through some of these. Simply click on Options and we now have a more advanced search screen. The first thing to do is to separate out our keywords. This makes it easier to do an advanced search. The first thing to think about is different word endings. The library search will look for the exact word you type in. So for example, the article might talk about sleep, sleeps, sleeping, sleeper. If we simply place an asterisk after the stem of the word where anything after that letter is relevant, that will automatically search for all of those different word endings for us. For teenagers, it could say teen, teens, teenager or teenagers. So if I take it back to the N and place the asterisk, that will find all of those variants for us. As well as thinking about different word endings, we also need to think what other synonyms or alternative terms may have been used to describe that topic area. The library search will look for the exact word you type in. The author of the article might have written about the impact of sleep, but referred to adolescents rather than teenagers. So all we need to do to add synonyms in is to place a space, a capital O, and type in the synonyms. It could say adolescent or adolescents, so we can place the asterisk after the N. It might say youth or youths, or it may say young person or young adult. In addition to social media, they may have referred to specific platforms. So as you can see, we can simply connect all of the synonyms with the capital O. So this technique is really useful if you're looking to increase your search results. Let's run the search again. We previously had 2,500, we now have over 19,000. So as you can see, adding those search techniques will greatly increase your search results. If you then find you have too much, you can go back to your advanced search and you could always limit particular rows to the title only, so that the words will be searched in the title of the article rather than the abstract as well. The library search also enables you to create a temporary folder of articles. If you find anything that looks useful, you can click Save this item, then go to your folder of saved items, and from here you can export them, you can print them, you can email them. This is a temporary folder, so as soon as you log out from the library, these items will be automatically removed. Hopefully that's been a useful, quick introduction to finding open access materials via the University of Hull library website. Just remember, tick the open access box and use the built-in filters to look for the type of material you're interested in. Good luck with your research.